The BOOcast synth of the month is the MFB Dominion 1. MFB was founded in Berlin by legendary designer Manfred Fricker in 1976. And in 1979, just 1 year after Roland introduced the CR78, they released the low-cost MFB 501 drum machine, which outsold even the 808 in its home country. MFB went on through the decades to produce countless affordable drum machines, synths, and even video mixers. And in 2014, MFB produced what was to be their flagship synth, the Dominion 1. Now this synth is blimmin' lovely. So let's have a quick canter through the front. So we've got 2 ribbons, one for pitch, one for modulation. The oscillator section, we've got 3 VCOs. There's also an FM section. There are LFO1, LFO2, and LFO3, ADSR1, ADSR2, and AD3, so that's 3 envelopes. There's a multi-mode filter section with 12 selectable discrete filter types. There's aftertouch modulation levels, there's glide levels, and there's a sequencer and an arpeggiator. There's also a section where we can control our presets and the destination for our velocity settings. So if we go to VCO1, the oscillators range from 32 to 1 foot, so. And the tuning on VCO1 is global, so this controls the tune of the whole instrument. It goes that far. And over on the left, we have Mod Select. Now this adjusts the various modulation sources we can have. These are the same for all of the oscillators. So we've got a level, which is connected to LFO1, pitch to LFO1, pitch to LFO2, pitch to ADSR1, pulse width modulation, and pulse width, which is a manual control. Now, these are all only selectable one at a time, apart from the pulse width manual control, which you can select and set, and it stays with you while you're using one of the others. But the interesting thing here is you don't just have pulse width modulation on the pulse, you also have pulse width modulation on the saws. And on the triangle. So that's the triangle. And your traditional. So it's good solid pulse width modulation there. We've also got ring mod on VCO1, which we turn up with this RMY in. And this means that VCO1 is now ring modded by VCO2. So we can get all of that. VCO2 is pretty much the same story. We've got all the same modulation sources here, but we also have a digital ring mod. Actually got quite a lot of stuff going on from the preset, so we can just bypass that here and turn it around to manual. Whoops. Enter. So now we've got what's actually happening. So VCO2 has the same waveforms, but the tune on both 2 and 3 are wider than on 1, and we've also got a different ring mod. Which is a digital ring mod, which is it's got a more aggressive sound. We've got nice clangorous stuff there. As I said, we've got all the same modulations on each of them. VCO3 it also has a ring mod. So again, that's just one oscillator on its own. It's controlled. by VCO1. So there we go. Clangorous. So yeah, see, with all of these modulation possibilities already just in the VCO section, there's a real temptation to go well wonky. There's also sync on VCO2, which syncs to VCO1, and sync on VCO3, which syncs to VCO2. And obviously we can modulate these with two different LFOs. So let's go for pitch 1 on the first one. Let's go for pitch 2 on the second one, why don't we? Oh, so then we've got two synced VCOs connected to the two LFOs here. Okay, on top of all that, at the bottom of the oscillator section, we've got an FM section, which gives you multiple controls over everything. Now, the writing's tiny. I'm going to have to lean around to see it. What have we got here? So you can have it off. Stop sniggering at the back. So what this does is it gives you FM control of oscillators 1 and 2 by oscillator 3. So let's just turn up oscillator 1, put it into a saw. So you can also route this through various destinations. So LFO 1. Which brings in the FM mod with the LFO. We've got LFO 2 as well. ADSR 1, so we can use the filter envelope. So we're just listening to VCO 1 at the moment. Ooh. So it's rather nice. ADSR 2, so that's the same still. But ADSR 2 is hardwired to amplitude, so I guess ADSR 1's better. Or, if we run out of options, we can go to the AD envelope here. So then you've still got control over the filter with ADSR 1 without messing with what you've done with the filter mod, the FM mod. It's also possible to get FM signals in through the FM in jack and use something else to FM modulate your oscillators. Okay, onto the mixer. So the mixer gives a little bit of drive into the filter. If you go high, and in the mixer we've also got a noise. You can also add an external signal through the external in jack. So the filter's pretty cool. So as I said, we've got a multi-mode filter here with 12 selectable filters inside. So low pass 1 is a 24 dB. And the resonance is over here. Next is an 18 dB low pass. 12 dB low pass, 6 dB low pass with resonance. There are 4 bandpass modes with various different settings there. We've also got a notch filter. And if I take the resonance off, you can hear that slightly SEM-like phasing quality to the filter there, which is rather lovely. Moving along the filter, so we've got the modulation select, so we can choose from LFO1 to modulate the filter, which we're already using by the looks of it, LFO2, VCO2, and VCO3. There's a lot of sources of modulation there. Obviously, we've got this patch bass, so we can do other things as well. So there's a cutoff knob. Hey, I mean, that's in notch mode. Let's go down to LP1 again. Yeah, we can do all that. So the contour is the amount. It can go inverse. And finally, we've got a resonance control, which allows you to control the amount of resonance. It's effectively a set of hands doing this with the resonance knob for you. You can attach it to the AD envelope or the LFO2. So I'll just do that. So now we've got LFO2 set to sample and hold, controlling the amount of resonance. Let's, we can put now LFO1 is controlling the cutoff, and LFO2 is controlling the amount of resonance. LFO2 can be sent to the VCA, so you can make nice rhythmic patches with it. Now the envelopes are digital, but this gives us the ability to change the speed, going from a fast to a slow. So that's a much slower decay time. Similarly, the LFOs are digitally controlled as well. So we can go, when we select Shift and LFO1 speed, we can have the LFOs as slow as 1 cycle every 40 seconds. Yeah, we haven't got all day. And as fast as 1.2 kilohertz, something like that. Great thing about the LFO is it can be reset, so we can have it free running. Or we can have it re-trigger with each key press. And we can have it re-triggering and in one-shot mode. So here's a sound that utilizes the one-shot mode. Also, we can key follow the frequency with these buttons here. So dimly lit is half tracking, fully lit is fully tracking. So basically the speed of the LFO doubles as you go up an octave. But because this LFO goes so far up into the audio range, we can use it as a fourth oscillator, and all we need to do there is take LFO2 out and plug it into external in. Oscillator 1, oscillator 2, 3. And that fourth one is the LFO. But there's a gritty sine wave, gritty triangle, gritty saw, gritty reverse saw, and digital noise. There you go. So we've fully realized our Nintendo desires here. Your head explode. So yeah, an amazing pair of LFOs. These ones work really hard. This one, however, is just as lovely, but it doesn't work quite as hard as its two brothers and sisters here. It's a simple triangle wave, and we have control over the amount with the modulation strip, so we can control all the VCOs, just VCO2, just VCO3, 2 and 3, or the filter, or the VCO, giving you some tremolo. Now, as I'm sure you've noticed, although this is a monophonic synth, it's got a keyboard which allows you to play paraphonically. So if you play one key, all the oscillators show up there. So yeah, it's not polyphonic, but it does give you a lot of options for that kind of... it changes the way you play when you've only got... And obviously you've got all of these sync options and all the modulation options going on there as well. It's, yeah, pretty cool. So despite its clangorous tendencies, you can also get it to sound rather mellow and lovely. So while playing paraphonically, it's quite nice to just single out one oscillator. So we'll take VCO2. Moving down from the ribbons, we get the Aftertouch mod knob, which allows you to choose how much the Aftertouch is engaged, and it works positive and negative. Here it's set to cutoff, but if we press Aftertouch select, we get a little menu appear over here, and we can select. O1P is oscillator 1 pitch. Oscillator 2 pitch. And when we select OAA, this will engage the modulations that you've selected on your oscillators here. So I'll put the pitches all there. Also got a glide mode. While we're in this section here, so this section, as I said before, controls your presets. It also controls your sequences. Now, if we go to sequence and then just press shift and select sequence and then hit record, it gives you a scale of what your sequence is going to be. And then if you hit record again, it basically takes in one note at a time. But it will record ribbon input, glide input, and aftertouch input, and length of note. And if we hit play, that'll probably sound terrible. You can also add rests and stuff. And you can transpose it by pressing and holding shift to transpose. Yeah, a completely silly sequence. So there's the sequencer. Something else the sequencer can do, if we just go back to one of our polyphonic patches. this select knob here can do a lot of things. It can take us into manual. It controls our MIDI channel. It can choose whether or not our sound is going to be monophonic or 3-note paraphonic. The selections around the top give you a choice of where to send your velocity signal to. So you can go to the VCA, fine, and the filter. It can also adjust the amount of resonance. So the harder you hit it here, the more resonance you get. These all go negative as well, so here, pressing it gently, the resonance is up. When you go hard, cuts it back. We've also got contour control, which is the envelope amount going to the filter. Also, we've got LFO speed. With this selector, we can also send velocity to the envelopes, each of them individually or together, and control the attack, decay, and release time on all of them, or the attack and decay time on the AD envelope. So the synth has been basically the backbone, spine, and pelvis of our music for, well, since we've had it. And they're, okay, when they came out in 2014, they were such a bargain. It was like, I think it was 1,200 quid for such a deep, lovely synth. And it's like, you know, it's the deluxe flagship MFB synth. It's just like, you know, so much bigger, so much chunkier, so much more full of stuff. While it's capable of all these crazy sounds, it's also capable of being very, very warm, lovely, and even, dare I say it, a little bit sad. So these synths were released in 2014 as the flagship. As far as I know, they're now discontinued, and the sad fact about that is that although the price was really reasonable at the time, they're probably going to be going up in price now, and there aren't many of them around. And it might be a good idea, if you see one, to grab it and take care of it.